Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the hips and how to get the power from the hips. There seems to be a lot of confusion around how to use your hips. When should I move them? Before, too early, too late? And so we're going to go over the most common mistakes that I see people doing when they're trying to use their hips. So of course, when we hit our strokes, we want to make sure that we are using the entire body, right? We don't want to be stuck hitting the balls like this. We want to make sure that we get the most out of our body and of our technique. Okay, everything is together. It is like a chain, it's the kinetic chain, and everything goes together in the stroke. That is why technique is so important. It's sort of tennis is kind of similar to golf in the sense that it's very technical and sometimes more technical than what people think. That is if you want to hit a really good forehand and get the most out of the power that you can generate with the right technique, footwork, and using your body properly. So the first mistake that I see is that people are not using their hips at all. Okay, and this goes a lot for intermediate players, with club players that are trying to generate power, but they're trying to do it all here, right? And they're staying like this, trying to generate power, and sometimes they may even have like good hand speed, but they're not really able to get the most out of the stroke because they're not using the hips. So what I recommend, if you have the problem that you're not using the hips at all, is to focus on your belly. Okay, but the key here is that you want to focus on your belly finishing forwards towards the net after you're done with the stroke. Okay, so not before. So notice I am not gonna go with the belly before, because then I'm gonna open up too fast, and that's what, I don't know if you've had a coach maybe tell you you're opening up too soon. Okay, that is what it means, that you're opening up a little too fast, and then what happens is you end up too open and over rotating. Okay, so you want to move the belly after. So in your brain, think about that, and this is what it looks like when you think about that. Okay, I'm here making contact, and I'm contact, and when I'm done, notice this is how I look on contact. Okay, that is how the hips have to look, facing forwards on contact. Right here, hips are facing forward, and so if I focus on doing that, if I focus on my belly ending in that direction, then it starts to move so that I can actually end in that direction. So it starts to move. I don't have to sort of force it if I think about that. Okay, sometimes, like I said, players are trying to move the hips alone and they're opening up too fast, or maybe they are not doing it at all and they're trying to, but they're still stuck. The belly needs to clear the ball. Okay, so it ends towards the net and it ends that way. Okay, so think about that and try to work on it. Do it slowly. Again, if you are standing a little bit too close, it will be difficult. Make sure you're in a nice close stance. Even if you're in an open stance, it's the same. The body rotates in that direction. That's how I look on contact, and that's how I finish. Okay, same thing for a close stance, here and here. That is what we want to do. Now, for the second mistake that I see, and we just sort of kind of scratch the surface with it, it is when people are trying to use their hips, but they're opening up too soon. And there are a few reasons why that happens. So it looks like this when I'm trying to open up too soon. And by the time I'm on contact, I'm already too over-rotated to the left. And then when I finish, I tend to come, instead of forwards, I tend to come a little bit to the left. Okay? And the reason why that happens, there's a few reasons. One, if you're really trying to use your hips and you're not using them the proper way, that can happen. Okay, that you're really over rotating and you're doing it too early. Okay, we want to make sure that we use the hips, but we think about ending this way and not just moving it too early, because then we over rotate. Okay, the other reason that we over rotate and we open up too soon is because of the left arm. Okay, so the left arm is here, is great, but then it moves too quickly to the left. Okay, so it sort of, as I'm setting up, it already starts to move too early and I end up hitting contact like this. See, this is too much. We want to be around here on contact. It means that my head is still on contact, my chin is still here. See, my hips, my belly is facing that way, but my head and my chin are still on my contact. If I move this arm too quickly and I over rotate, look what happens to my chin and my head. That is what is called opening up too soon. And what that causes is that usually you'll end up doing tons of mistakes, sometimes even shank the ball, because you moved away from the ball too quickly, okay, instead of staying with it. Notice what happens when I'm able to stay with the ball and my chin is here, okay, then I'm able to keep moving and extending, okay. If I over rotate and I move this arm too soon and I look like this on contact, then I can't really go that way. I have to go to the left. That means that I come off the ball super quickly. So I may just miss to the net. I may not be able to control it. If I'm trying to go in a certain direction, it may go to the left. Or sometimes if you open up too quickly and you try to hit the ball really hard, you'll just see what happens to the racket. Okay, you'll just end up opening the racket because you're doing this a little bit too much, too early. So the important thing about the hips, and I feel like this is sometimes what I see that people are getting confused on, is that we definitely need to use the hips. That is massively important, but we still need to stay with the ball. And again, what does staying with the ball means? It means that our chin and our eyes are still on the contact. I'm staying with the ball. Okay, so if I do it quickly, okay, see how well I use my hips there, but I still was able to get my racket through because I stayed with the ball and then I ended in this position. Okay, that is massively important. So make sure that you're not moving this arm too quickly to the left so that on contact you look here. Okay, not overly rotated and definitely not too sideways like this because you'll be stuck this way. Right here is the perfect contact. And the last mistake that I see, people trying to use the hips and transfer. So they're sort of forcing it, okay? They are trying to transfer and use the hips, but this is what it looks like. Do you notice how I am not actually putting my weight onto the outside leg? So yeah, I'm like, yeah, I transfer the leg. That is not transferring the leg. I'm on my tippy toes right here. Watch this. That's not transferring because I want to transfer my weight from this leg, if I'm in a closed stance, to this leg. I want to transfer the weight, okay? So my hips are working, and then I'm able to completely clear the ball by putting then the weight on my outside leg. If I'm doing an open stance, okay, it's a little bit different. I actually put my weight into the other leg. I load on my right and I go into my left. But right now the mistake is more for closed stance when I see people trying to transfer, but they look like this. They're not putting their weight into the leg. And that is really, really important because that is how the balance works in tennis. You always are loading using your legs. So you're moving your weight from one leg to the other. In this case, it's from that front leg to the back, into the back leg when you transfer, okay? Even if you're like, okay, I'm transferring, but you're doing this, you're not using your hips properly there, okay? I'm not really, see how I'm not really clearing the ball very well here. So you need to make sure that you put the weight onto that leg. That is really important, guys. That is key because as you're rallying here and you're constantly transferring, my weight goes here. And then I'm able to get back here. If I'm like this, then it's really, really unnatural. Yeah, this is not transferring, okay? So make sure that you do that. All right, guys, I hope that helps. Make sure to work on it. And if you have never done it before, do it progressively. Focus on the belly, but make sure that you look here on contact and you're not overly rotated, that you're not moving this arm so soon, that you are transferring and that your eyes are still on the racket on contact, okay, here, and then transferring all the weight into the other leg. All right, if you found this information useful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so I can keep making videos like this for you guys. And also don't forget to check our description below for our coaching app where we do video analysis and we pinpoint the problem that you have and we're able to guide you in the right direction. We give you a detailed program. We also have exclusive content of giving lessons. That way you can see how you can improve your mistake, and also for my recommended products, everything that I wear and everything that I recommend, everything tennis related. All right, guys, see you soon.